welcome to Viewpoint from Overseas. I'm your host Faraz Darvesh. First, we will discuss an unfortunate incident that took place in Peshawar, Pakistan. Tehril-e-Taliban Pakistan, a terrorist group, once again tried to strike on innocents, and they succeeded in killing about six people, innocents, and several injured. But somehow, and a good job to Pakistan security forces for reacting on very quick basis and countering the terrorists and basically eliminating the terrorists right away. And then we'll discuss Secretary of State Tillerson on his way out, and then we'll discuss the Obama's visit to India. And President Obama has claimed that Pakistan was unaware of OBL presence within its border. Let me start with Riaz. Riaz, how do you see the Peshawar attack? Is keep on happening, but looks like the security forces of Pakistan are able to manage such attack and react on very quick basis.
Yeah, I think they have suffered so much over the years. There have been so many attacks and such huge losses that I think they're finally beginning to have to show that they have the capacity to deal with these incidents. They have actually been receiving better training. They have better equipment. They're able to move much more quickly, better organized. So I think all of this is basically an indication that Pakistan has accepted, and I think most of the world has accepted, that terrorism is not going to be completely eliminated. There will be terrorist incidents.
But why not?
The best way to deal with it is to actually be prepared, to have the capacity to deal with it.
But why can't it be rooted out?
Well, I think it's like saying that can you eliminate all murder in the world? You cannot. I mean, the reason why you have these security forces, the police, is to deal with these kinds of problems.
Right, but the Pakistan always claimed the sanctuaries are in Afghanistan and they are backed by RAW. Why can't Pakistan go into Afghanistan first? Second is, why can't Afghanistan forces in Afghanistan root out these terrorist forces within their borders?
I think that's a good wish, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Okay.
There are very good reasons for it. I mean, Afghanistan is so divided right now, so fragmented.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at the leadership there is huge difference between Abdullah, who represents essentially the Tajiks, and President Ghani.
Right. So
Abdullah is very closely aligned with India.
Administrative problems, basically. Misbah, how do you see that?
Yeah, actually, one thing what Pakistan should not be doing there is just claiming that we have cleaned up everything, now terrorism is gone. A lot of times these claims you hear from both military and civilian leadership on that. They should keep working on that, keep on...
It has reduced, the attacks have reduced.
By all
Significantly,
means, significant reduction. And that credit has to be given for that, and keep giving
to military.
To military. No, actually civilian also. I mean, we don't want to give any credit to civilians.
Why?
Military first. The police has played a key role.
Yeah, police played a role always. And but issue is not that who did that. Issue is that yes, we have reduced the terrorism in the country, significant reduction. But now the time is that we should continuing using the intelligence operations and attacking on their sanctuaries. And as Riaz also said that terrorism, you cannot make it go 100%.
Okay.
There are little bit things here, and once the law and order will be in certain limit, then a lot of these terrorist groups who are not really gung-ho, they would not attack.
Okay.
They would not.
What is happening in the US administration? Secretary of State Tillerson, what is happening there?
Well, I think we've known for some time that President Trump is not getting along well with his Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. There was some reports a few months ago when they said that after a meeting, Tillerson was so upset with Trump that he called him a moron. And apparently, it didn't go well with President Trump. He doesn't like being denigrated by anybody, much less his own Secretary of State. Now, on the other hand, Tillerson is not happy with the way things are going either, because when he visits these countries on diplomatic missions, it seems that President Trump is undercutting him the entire time. You know, when he was in China trying to deal with the Korean crisis, President Trump was tweeting to the world that Tillerson is wasting his time. That there's no point in talking to the Rocket Man. Also, I think there's a lot of other issues going on right now. The biggest problem I see is that the entire diplomatic corps is completely demoralized. They're leaving in large numbers. There's an exodus going on of very senior, very experienced diplomats. You know, United States is a global power. It's a huge superpower, and they have issues everywhere in the world. I mean, they have presence everywhere. They're in Africa, they're in Asia, they're in Latin America, in Europe, and there's a lot of expertise needed in the State Department to deal.
You need plenty of experts.
Well, yeah,
you need a team of
who
experts
really know these things, and they have a long experience.
Right.
Expertise, skill, experience, knowledge, all of that is being lost. The only focus seems to be for President Trump seems to be to basically build up the military, to make it stronger, to increase the military footprint, which is not a very smart way of doing business in the world. You need to have a significant diplomatic presence in the world. You need to make sure that the tensions, they always try to make reduce tensions, reduce diffuse issues through diplomatic means before you resort to military power. And in the end, no problem can be solved by military alone. In fact, you need both military and diplomatic means to be able to deal with the way the world is. This is more true of probably Afghanistan and Pakistan and India at this time than anywhere else in the world.
This is highly alarming. Misbah, how do you see this?
Yeah, like someone said, that war is too serious business to be dealt by the generals. I mean, in US, unfortunately, this trend started during the time of George Bush. Of course, when George Bush came, Secretary of Defense was not a general, he was a civilian. However, the Pentagon was running the whole show. Now, the diplomacy is not there. I mean, Trump's speech, you heard that. I mean, there is no diplomacy he talked about. He's not even a single word about talking and chatting and, negotiating. He just beating. And all his foreign policy is run by generals. So where Tillerson comes, you can see their national security website, which is under the State Department, for 9 months. When it's still not online. I mean, it says still under construction. They don't have a people. There are so many people positions to fill. However, now more positions are opening because people are leaving from there. I mean, this is the way it is. They don't know diplomacy. This is a very dangerous trend. When generals control the diplomacy, it is a very dangerous thing. And it could be very dangerous for the whole world. Everywhere. Now Pakistan, when we will talk about it, when they will come to Pakistan, there will not be a very nice talking going on.
So General Mattis is due in Pakistan next week.
Yes.
How do you see that visit, Misbah?
Well, General Mattis...
How do you foresee that visit?
Well, first of all, I don't see the crystal ball, but here for 2-3 days I am in touch with Pakistani top journalist, on telephone, because after Dharna and all.
Okay, I'm glad you're in touch with journalists, not generals.
No generals. Actually, one general also. but that is beside the point. We didn't talk politics. He's my relative. Anyways, so the thing is that they are not expecting any polite, sweet talk there. There will be a tough things. And Pakistan situation...
No, what's wrong with it? If they want to be very straightforward, what's wrong with it?
No, it is not straightforward. They will push. They are going to push to do certain things. And after this Dharna incident, Pakistan position is even less because whatever happened... It's weakened because whatever happened, virtually the state surrendered in front of street thugs, virtually. And the people are not happy with that. They are scared of that. Second thing, if you look at carefully, that Dawn gave a very interesting
Dawn News.
Dawn News gave a very interesting editorial today, and Dawn News say because now the enlightened moderate General Musharraf is saying he's a supporter of LET and Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jamaat-ud-Dawa, and Dawn says that these things shows that Pakistan really needs democracy. We cannot trust on these generals' mentality when they change. They were enlightened moderate. So this will impact very strongly because they say that...
Between US and Pakistan relations?
Yeah, because they say that your
Okay.
moderate generals, they talk like that. So how we can trust them?
Riaz, you heard what Misbah said. If you can just shed some light
Yeah,
on
I
it.
think at the official level, there's going to be a lot of tough talk on both sides. Pakistan is very defined. America may be, very straightforward and in making its demands, but Pakistan is also very defined. And particularly after this incident that happened in Peshawar, where the TTP has claimed responsibility for it. And the Pakistani military is claiming that these people came from Afghanistan to attack Pakistan. So Pakistan is not going to just take lying down whatever dictation comes from the United States. The good news here is that there is a track 2 dialogue going on between the United States and Pakistan.
Yeah.
And usually when you have the high levels of tension at the official level, these retired people who've served in the military or in the foreign office and as diplomats, they can talk to each other, figure out where the issues are, and find a way to move forward. So there was some track 2 dialogue recently. This guy Michael Kugelman, who works for I think the Wilson Center, he's just written an article about it. I saw today. The other area where I think there is track 2 dialogue going on is with India. There's a process called the Chao Phraya dialogue that is going on between India and Pakistan. Chao Phraya is the name of a river in Thailand. This is where the process started with some retired diplomats and military people, military officers met between India and Pakistan to try to move things forward. The last round happened in New Delhi. And there was something interesting I read. One of the Indian diplomats there said that the United States may be talking tough with Pakistan, but they're not going to abandon. They don't have a choice other than to work with Pakistan. So don't believe all of this tough talk that you hear. I think in the end, they have no choice. This is what these diplomats said, and this is a fact. They have to work with Pakistan. They have to find a way forward. The only way Pakistan is going to cooperate with the United States if the United States is able to exercise some influence in Afghanistan to try and stop these attacks that are coming into Pakistan.
Yeah, actually, the thing is that, like US and Pakistan, this happens, that things get, like Riaz mentioned about this article. It is also co-authored by Mr. Rauf Khan or some.
So let's wrap it up. Just move quick. Yep.
So anyways, problem is that they never kind of make things. They have things get better, then promises and expectations started, and things go down. So of course this vicious cycle is keep going on for years.
Okay.
So we don't know that really the track 2 diplomacy would work, but of course track 2 diplomacy usually works.
President Obama is now in India and is visiting India, and he's been telling India how culturally connected he is with Pakistan and India, both through dal and keema, which are favorite Pakistani dishes. But along with it, he has made a statement that Pakistan was not aware of Osama Bin Laden's presence within its own borders.
That was very tricky actually, because I was hearing him. He say Pakistan government was not aware of that. Government. And Karan Thapar Karan Thapar he's brilliant guy. I mean he is not like an ordinary journalist who tried to just put Pakistan on the fire and all that. He did not ask that question. Because it came in my mind right away, would their military knows? Karan Thapar did not ask. He let President Obama talk finish his thing. And then in the end, President Obama said very interesting thing. He said that, okay, that one we know about, and now you go and take whatever you take out from it.
So, President Obama said that Pakistan government
Is not aware.
was not aware of Osama Bin Laden's
Yeah.
presence within its own borders.
Yes, and he said that we really looked into it. So it's not that he's speculating. He's giving the verdict that,
He's
okay,
given.
we tried.
Enough is enough.
Yes, enough. Yeah. we
And saying
looked
that in
into it.
India.
It is not the case. And
Saying
saying in India.
In India.
Yeah, but of course he say that US also considers all the terrorist groups which are in Pakistan, which are going against, other than Haqqani network, who are going against India, we consider them terrorists as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think what he said is that we found no evidence
Yeah.
of any links to Pakistan of his presence.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, there were tens of thousands of documents that were released by the CIA, declassified. Those did not indicate anything regarding Pakistan's connection to
Osama Bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden's presence in Pakistan. So there has been absolutely no evidence
Right.
in any way. Now people try to keep speculating of who knew and who didn't knew. The only one thing that hasn't come out yet that needs to come out is the report of the commission that Pakistan set up under Justice Javed Iqbal to look into it. And I think that needs to come out as well to try to lay this thing to rest. But Obama just didn't talk about Pakistan, whether Pakistan knew or not. He also said that he has talked to Mr. Modi and he has advised him privately, and he continues to emphasize that India needs to find a way to stop dividing people along religious lines.
Okay.
They need to they need to make Muslims feel more comfortable. They need to make Muslims feel safer. Who are
And
not feeling
part
safe,
of the
right?
part of the Indian
So I think he is basically giving that message to them
right.
that you cannot have peace and prosperity unless you really care for your minorities as well. Now, the question of how they treat Muslims is closely interlinked to how they deal with Pakistan, because they often use Muslims as proxies for Pakistan and India.
Just
I'm just wrapping it up.
one short comment. If you look at it, there is some talk going on between India and Pakistan also, and you and I talked about it. That you can see that suddenly line of control gets a little cooled down. This fiery statements started reducing a little bit. So something is going
Backdoor.
on. Backdoor,
Right.
or maybe
Okay.
under the pressure of United States.
Okay, Riaz, Misbah, thank you so much. Audience, thank you for watching Viewpoint from Overseas. We will be back next week with more topics.